dropped my when you're live, you have to work with the mistakes. So I clipped it, but it didn't quite clip, so it fell off. So anyway, welcome to Zen Live and ideas that can change your world. Okay. So really, I come here this morning with a need for synthesis. You know what synthesis is? Synthesis is when you have a thesis and an antithesis. That would be two equal opposites. Get the idea? They're both the same. Do you want pancakes or do you want eggs? You choose. You see. So the ambiguity of equal opposites but are mutually dependent. So you can't eliminate one and say pancakes. This is a metaphor now. Just, don't say, well, I like, go with me here. So when two opposites that cancel each other out are presented with equivalence, yet they're mutually dependent, you get in a dilemma. You get in a double bind. You get in a loss of center. You get into, I can't choose myself. And whenever we get into, I can't choose myself, this becomes, I'm going to draw it again. This becomes the Ouroboros, the snake that eats itself. I eat me. See? These are the two choices. 1, you want eggs. 2, you want pancakes. I can't choose. So if you can't choose, this creates a feedback loop. Like when you stick a mic into an amplifier, you're eating your own energy, trying to come up to, I want pancakes. When we get into an ambiguous, it becomes an ambiguous of choices that are all equivalent. We get up in a dilemma. It's called stress. And so we usually have, when we get caught in this, we usually have to go to a therapist, a priest, a good friend, a dictator, some authority who knows. You choose. When my father, who was the captain, was rather ironic, as I look back on it right now. My father went to Annapolis. He graduated in 1929. He was a naval captain. And he spent most of his life at sea. World War II, Korea, in the 30s, a whole catastrophe. But anyway, he was a naval officer. So he chose. See, the naval officer is the one who chooses unambiguously. That's what that means. It's not like, should we do this or that? Boop, 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 boop. You see, no, do that. Unambiguous. That's what the officer is. So he ran his family like that. Pop chose. Whatever we did, talked about, wherever we went, Pop, he was the choice. So anyway, he had a very powerful stroke, which destroyed his center of choice, let's say. So he was perfectly healthy and okay to be in the house and everything. I mean, he's just kind of like being there. But when it came to choices, he couldn't choose. So you go out to eat, and my mother, his wife, would say, what would you like? And he would say, you choose. He couldn't choose. And I just suddenly, as I think back on that, how ironic. He was always the one who chose, even to the point of destroying the possibility of choice in me, because when sons and fathers relate, If the son just defers to the father, he never discovers who he is. He can't choose. So he will often become the rebel and just become the opposite of the father. Whatever he chooses, I'm different. If he says stay in, I'm going out. I choose to go out. But he's still mutually dependent upon the father. He hadn't become his own man yet, you see. So in order to become our own person, we have to be able to choose unambiguously. As long as we're caught up in the double bind, we are in a state of, we've lost our center. We can't choose. We're in a state of dependency. Someone else choose for me. This is what the Hurt Locker was all about. I got to go back and look at that movie. Doggone it, I forgot to push my timer. Okay, so what we're looking at here, I think we're looking at here, is that these double binds, this stress, we live in, if you think about it, you see our culture creates stress. Now stress means I can't choose. Or stress means there's ambiguity here. I'm conflicted. I want to be home, but I got to be at work. I'm at home and I'd rather be at work. I'm with this person, I'd rather be there. I'm watching this TV, but I'd rather be there. I'm in this room, but I'd rather be in that room. I've got this job, but I want another job. I've got this food, but I would rather have that. So everything is divided into, I've got this, but I'd rather have that. That's ambiguity. That's stress. Because the crack is in the mind. The crack splits the mind. Ambiguity splits the mind into two halves conflicting with each other. It's like arm wrestling. You see. That's stress. And we think it's normal. Some people say, I like stress. It gets me motivated. To do what? To get out of it. But you never get out of it. When you do get out of it temporarily, you create another situation. We don't see unambiguously that we're creating the world of stress that I live in. We don't see unambiguously. You see, ambiguity means, well, I see it, but there might be a little bit, I don't think that's right. Well, I agree, but I got about 10% I'm not agreeing with. I agree. 90%, I agree. And there's 10% over here. That is not unambiguous. That's ambiguity. And we find this, I'm going into it full hard, but I'll hold back just a little bit in case I'm wrong. Little insurance policy, hold back. I'm not quite jumping into this moment here. I got a little bit left over here that I'm holding back, you see. What is that that's holding back? What is that resistance? What is this 10%? It's me. It's me. That 1%, one thought is me. If I jump totally into the moment, unambiguously, me is not there because there's nobody holding back. Me, sense of me, is disagreement, is holding back, is not jumping in, is not going with the flow. It's holding back. What? I disagree. I resist. That's me, you see. And so our whole society creates this stress so we can have a me. And what is me? That's the free individual. The free individual is me, you see. So in order to be a free individual, I can't jump into life totally. I got to hold something back. That 10% is me. The bigger the me gets is the more me I'll hold back 30%. Okay? And that's 70% 1, 30% 2. You see? So whatever we hold back from life which is 1, life is unambiguous. But we perceive it as being ambiguous, 2. The other is the 70%. That's your opinion. I got 30% my opinion. And then I go to build up. So I'm going to get 40%. I'm going to bring in more logic. I'm going to bring in more evidence. And I'm going to get up here to 70% me and 30% you. I win. Now I can go find another battle, you see. So it's always the seesaw of how much me can I get out of this moment. How much rightness. You see, this is righteousness. How much rightness can I get out of this moment? You see, look at Facebook. Facebook is a battleground of me versus the other, and every me is trying to get bigger percentage of right. But the conversation is stressful. And you can watch it grow sometimes. They're screaming, I'm going to defriend you. You see? So that's just a mirror of our regular life, you see. Everything ends up in a battle of 2 equivalences. Opposite but equal truths. And each one struggles then to get more weight, like the scale. My truth has more weight than your truth, which means I got me has more weight than you. So what's the followers of the way? Okay, well, I've been almost done now reading Crack in the Cosmic Egg, a rereading of Joseph Chilton Pearce. And as I've said, it's an old book because it's brown and the print's very small. And he came upon something here. In the last part of the book, he was really comparing Carlos Castaneda's Don Juan and Jesus, and the teachings of Jesus as a transcendental way, a way of transcending the ambiguity of stress, the way to become unambiguous. Unambiguous, you see, is... Well, I lost my thing here. I took that all. See, unambiguous. This is ambiguity. Unambiguous is that. And by the way, that's the symbol for Zen. Zen is unambiguous. It's just this. So just this moment is unambiguous. It's not divided. If you're drinking, this is my morning medicine. I got a little lemon juice and vinegar. And I'm just drinking it. I'm not comparing it and saying, oh, this is crap, or it needs a little more sugar, or why do I have to take this, or oh, maybe I forgot, whatever. All this stuff here. If you just drink it, it's this. It's not, it's just this. There's no story to it. There's no conflict with it. There's no problem with it. There's no comparison. There's no calculation on how I could get out of it. My wife gives it to me and I drink it. So, the point is that just this, if you just do this, it's unambiguous. But we can't do just this because we always hold a little something back, a little resistance. The son holds something back from the father, a little rebellious. I got to have a little bit for me, you see. Or the son gets in an argument with the father. Why? He wants to be me. And the father may say, okay, that's right, that's good. I really see that. I appreciate that. Or the father says, you're not going to change my mind. Boom, blow you out of the water. So we're looking at this transition here. How do you get from the stress of ambiguity to the unambiguous wholeness, which Jesus said is the kingdom of heaven? The kingdom of heaven is not ambiguous. And it's not a place in the future because that's stressful. If it's in the future, then I don't like this place. This is hell. I want to get there. That's stress. That's ambiguity. If I say this is crap, I want to get to the promised land, that's this. That's not the now. Just this is placed in the future, and that creates stress because it's not now. So in order to be free from stress, in order to be free from ambiguity and the double bind and the catch-22 and the Ouroboros, we have to be now. There's no stress now. Quite often you can look around and see this. You're looking at the TV, oh, I'm so stressed out. But you're sitting in the now of the living room and there's no stress there. The cat sleeping on the floor, somebody's reading, peaceful room, no stress here. This is now. I'm looking at the TV, oh, I'm so stressed out. That's because I don't want to get into that. But you see the point. Now is not stressful. Now is just this. It's not ambiguous. Even if a dog comes in the room and starts attacking at you, barking at you, there's no ambiguity in it. It's not like maybe the dog likes me or maybe it doesn't. I know that dog doesn't like me. And I respond creatively to it. There's no ambiguity there. I just get the hell out. I just do something. There's no ambiguity. If somebody's attacking you, you are not ambiguous. You don't say, should I go that way or this way? Should I do that or that? Which? No. You just do something. It's not going to be ambiguous. If it is, you're going to get caught. So, and I think we've always had these experiences where when death comes close, we are not ambiguous. Even thinking is ambiguous, you see, because thinking, when I'm in thinking, I'm not here. That's ambiguous. There's here, and then I'm in thinking. That's ambiguity. That's stress. I'm lost in thought. I'm not here. You see, that's dividing reality. Reality is just this. Just this is all there is. This is it. It's not ambiguous. But our culture creates ambiguity in order to create a me and an individual that is free. But there is no freedom in ambiguity. There's no freedom in stress. There's no freedom in division of your own mind, you see. We kick freedom down the road. I got to get to it. I blame somebody else for taking away my freedom. The government's taking away my freedom. The government's not taking away your freedom. You're taking away your freedom. But unless we see that, unless we see that I'm creating a world in which I'm not free, I'm going to keep on creating a world in which I'm not free, in which I feel I'm not free. Feeling is the point. I don't feel free. That means I've created a stressful world in which I don't feel free. But that also creates a me. Who is that me? I'm the me who's a victim. I'm the me who doesn't feel free. The more I don't feel free, the stronger me feels. If I'm really angry because I'm not free, my me is really strong. You see the paradox? Now, when I see that through and through, the seeing is now. The now is not ambiguous. The seeing is not ambiguous. The seeing sees the illusion of ambiguity, the illusion of stress, the illusion of division. There is no division in reality. This is it. This is not two rooms. This is not a split screen. This is not one wall eyes where one eye sees this in focus and the other eye sees another reality in focus. So you got these things. So you got to go get some glasses to bring them back into focus so you can have one world that's not split. I speak from experience there because I got a wall eye when I look to the left. So if I look to the right, there's one you. If I look to the left, there's two yous. Which is the real reality? The one or the two? Two fingers. You see? So our culture conditions a two-reality view, a split screen. duality. And there is stress between them. And that stress creates our history. We're trying to get out of stress by creating more products, more stuff, more ideologies, more religions, more new ways, you see. It's in the future. So we're driving ourselves into the future to create the one that is free from the stress of the present moment. It doesn't work because we're creating the stress in the very moment, because we have to hold back something from the present moment and name that me. Well, isn't this interesting? I hope you're following. I hope you follow my talks, because I'm on an adventure that I'm sharing real time with you, connecting dots every day as I discover them in myself, as I become whole, as I become one. It's a daily path of discovery. But you have to want to be one. You have to want to be free of stress. You have to want to be free of ambiguity. You have to want to speak with one word, your word. That doesn't mean your word is wrong. That's ambiguity. You see. So the moment I say you're wrong, I'm right, I've created the ambiguity, the split. The moment I say, well, there's two truths, your truths and my truths, I've created a Trump. There's my news and there's your news. Your news is fake, my news is true. Two realities. Boom, boom, stress, ambiguity, anxiety, neurosis. Where's the one America? I titled this talk, My Friend is the Holy Spirit. I really didn't get into it. My friend is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is and I just realized that when I was reading Cracking the Cosmic Egg, because Jesus talks a lot about the Holy Spirit. Every artist has a muse. A lot of people feel they have a guardian angel. When I was into guru yoga, I had a guru. My guru had a guru. The guru is a metaphor for the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is a metaphor for the process of creating synthesis out of duality. The Holy Spirit is a metaphor, a name that can be used in any culture, any life. You can create one, you can get the name somebody gave you, but it's a name for this process of transcending the ambiguity of your mind and your world. So the Holy Spirit then is the ally, the friend, the process. It's not a thing, it's not a person, it's not a god, it's not a demon, not an angel, not a fairy, it's not Prabhakar, it's not guru, it's not anything concrete. It is a process, a catalyst, a formula, an operation. An operation is not a thing, it's an operation. It's a verb. So the Holy Spirit is a verb. It is a process you can activate when you have the intention to be one instead of two. So and this is what Zen's all about. All of these non-dual traditions are all about activating Buddhism, activating Prajna, the Holy Spirit, your angel, your guru, whatever you call it, doesn't matter. Your rabbit, Harvey and Jimmy Stewart, Mr. Ed in the TV thing, the horse, the wisdom, whatever. This is a process, it's not a thing. That way, as a process, it's available all the time as the means to transcend and create a new you, a new world that is not ambiguous. You are one. You are the center of the world. You are the world and the world is you. There's no ambiguity there. You are the world and the world is you. We grow up and live in a world in which you're you and the world is different. You and the world are absolute ontological differences, you see. Which is the same way we created God. God is ontologically or different from me in nature, you see. That's boom, 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 boom. That's ambiguity. That's stress. Me versus God. I got to get to God. But it's all me, so I created it. So we'll end there. Thank you for dropping in. I hope you were able to follow this. I hope I'm able to follow it. See you this evening.